Uh, Friends, I welcome you all in this interactive session on the topic funds flows statement. Well, friends, let me introduce myself before going ahead. I am Professor Sunil Kumar from School of Management Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University. So I am here to discuss the topic funds flow statement. So well friends, this topic is meant for the students doing MCOM program, MBA program and MCA program from Indira Gandhi National Open University. So this topic is of great relevance, particularly when we talk about the analysis of financial statements. Well friends, you might be well aware that the decisions are basically taken on the basis of financial statements. So when the financial statements are studied in a right spirit and in a very scientific way, of course, one can take a right decision, particularly for a particular business. And when we take a decision about the investment, we need to measure certain parameters on the basis of which we take a decision whether to invest our funds in a particular business or not. So funds flow statement is again a statement which enable the top management or the managers which provide significant information as far as the profitability and the financial position is concerned. So well friends, you are aware that the balance sheet provides the information on a particular date as far as the financial position is concerned. So only on that particular date, what amount of assets and liabilities a particular business enterprise is having are to be reflected by the balance sheet on that particular date. So generally the balance sheet provide a static view about the assets and liabilities on a particular date. Though it helps the management, it helps the manager and it helps the various stakeholders in decision making. But these days, with the advancement of technology, with the trend of globalization, it has become essential that you must have dynamic informations. Say for example, if I say that the balance sheet provides the picture about the capital, about the liabilities, about the assets on a particular date, that these are the assets and these are the liabilities which a particular business enterprise is having on a particular date. Therefore, it provides a static view. And if I compare the balance sheet or the income statement of a particular firm for two different periods, it will enable me to know the change in assets and liabilities over a particular period of time. But simply making me acquaint about the change in assets and liabilities on a particular date will not serve my purpose. I need to know why the assets have gone down, why the assets have gone up, why the liabilities have gone up. So until or unless I need the answer of these questions, probably taking a decisions about the financial position of that particular business firm will not be meaningful. So keeping in view the same, that I need reasons why the assets have gone up, why the assets have gone down, why the liabilities have gone up. So I need the answer of these questions, and if any statement that provides the answer of these questions is called funds flow statement. So funds flow statement will enable the management to tell them the reasons why the incomes have gone down, why the expenditures have gone up, why the fixed assets have come down, why the liabilities have gone up. So when the answer of all these questions are there, then of course it will facilitate the manager to take a decisions about the financial position of that particular business firm in a right way. So well friends, today in the same line we will discuss about the funds flow statement. So here, as the name implies, funds flow statement. So funds generally means here working capital. Flow, it reflects the change, and statement. So basically funds flow statement is a statement which depicts the change in working capital from one period to another. It enables the management to know that from where the funds are coming and where the funds are being applied. So well friends, when we talk about funds flow statement, we need to know certain things. Say for example, the first statement is schedule of change in working capital, and then the second one is funds from operation, and the third and last one is funds flow statement. So well friends, when we talk about schedule of change in working capital, so let me make you acquaint about the working capital. As in the previous lectures we have discussed about a working capital. So working capital is the excess of current assets over current liabilities of a particular period. So working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. So while preparing the schedule of change in working capital, we need to know only about the current assets and current liabilities. So by preparing this statement, we will be in a position to know the change in working capital. Either there may be increase in working capital or there may be decrease in working capital over a particular period of time. And then the second one is funds from operation. So well friends, while talking about funds from operation, so let me make you acquaint that the funds from operation enables the management or the managers to know how much funds have been generated from the operating activities of the business, because there are other activities which are simultaneously taking place in the business. So when these activities have been taken into considerations while preparing the financial statements, so then definitely in order to know the exact position of the funds which have been generated by the operating activities of the business, we need to identify those non-operating activities which have been taken into considerations while preparing the profit and loss account or while preparing the income statement of that particular business firm. So these non-operating activities have to be adjusted, means either added or subtracted from the current year profit in order to know the exact amount of funds which have been generated by the operating activities of the business. Then the third one is funds flow statement. So well friends, when we talk about funds flow statement, so basically it is a statement of sources and application of funds, that from where the funds are coming, means what are the main sources of funds and where the funds are being applied by the business. So sources of funds mean inflow of funds and the application of funds mean outflow of funds. So whatever amount of funds coming in will be recorded in the sources side of the funds flow statement, and whatever amount of funds are being applied, that is outflow of funds, will be recorded in the application side of the funds flow statement. So this was very brief about schedule of change in working capital, funds from operation, and then funds flow statement. So now we will discuss these statements a little detail. Say first one is schedule of change in working capital. So well friends, as I have already told you that by preparing this statement we arrive at either the increase in working capital or decrease in working capital. And I have already make you acquainted that the current assets and current liabilities are taken into considerations for preparing the schedule of change in working capital. So let me discuss the implications of increase or decrease in current assets and increase or decrease in current liabilities. So first, in case if the current assets are increased, so when the current assets are increased, it means, what does it mean when the current assets are increased? So when the current assets are increased, it will lead to increase in working capital, and when the liabilities, current liabilities are decreased, again it will lead to increase in working capital. And if the current assets are decreased, then it will lead to decrease in working capital, and if the current liabilities are increased, it will decrease in working capital. So well friends, from any transaction of the business where working capital either increases or decreases, it will definitely involve the change in funds. Say for example, if the working capital gets increased by any transaction, so when working capital increases, it will lead to sources of funds, and when the working capital decreases, it will lead to application of funds. So here I would like to make you acquaint about the implications of these transactions with the help of suitable examples to make you understand. The first one is machine purchased for rupees 20,000. Machine purchased for rupees 20,000. So here there are two aspects which have been affected in this transaction, that is machine and cash. So here friends, cash is a current asset and it affects the current account, and machine is a non-current items, non-current account. So friends, as I have made you acquainted that when in any transaction, if one transaction belongs to the current item and the other belongs to the non-current item, it will definitely affect the working capital. So here in this case, cash is going out. So here it will decrease the working capital. It is outflow of funds. So because working capital is decreased. Then the second one is machine purchased worth rupees 20,000 on credit. So well friends, in these transactions again there are two aspects. The first one is machine and the second one is the supplier from whom we have bought the machine on credit basis. So here machine is a non-current item and the supplier is a current item. Say it is a current account because supplier, that is creditor. So creditor is our current liabilities. So when in any transaction one aspect belongs to the current account and the another aspects belong to the non-current account, then it will definitely affect the working capital, as I have already told you. So here machine is a non-current and the current liabilities have gone up because we have bought the machine on credit basis. We have not made the payment on account of these transactions, rather we have increased our current liabilities. Our creditors have gone up. So it means here the liabilities are being increased. So when the liabilities increase, so again it is the outflow of fund, as it will decrease the working capital. Then the next one is share issued worth rupees 1 lakh. So when we issue the shares in the market, so here again there are two aspects which are going to be affected. Cash account debit to share capital. So here cash is current item, it is a current account, and share capital is a non-current account. So here by issuing the shares in the market, cash is coming up. So it will increase the working capital and it will affect the flow of funds. So here the funds are coming in, therefore it would be sources of funds, inflow of funds, because the working capital increases. Then the next one is cash received from debtor. So here again there are two aspects which are going to be affected. Cash received from debtor. So here cash account is going to be affected and debtors account is going to be affected. So well friends, here you are seeing that cash and debtor both belongs to current item. So this is my humble request to my learners that working capital affects only when in a transaction one aspect belongs to the non-current item and the other aspect belongs to the current item. But here both the items belongs to the current account. cash and debtor. Therefore, here there is no flow of funds. And if there is no flow of funds, it means there is no change in working capital, because when you are receiving the cash from the debtor, so cash and debtor both are the current assets. So cash is coming in, therefore it will increase the cash balance, and the debtors are making the payment to you. So when the debtors are making the payment to you, it means the other current assets, that is debtor, that is going to be reduced. So one current asset is increasing and the another current asset is decreasing. Therefore, it will not affect the working capital and there is no flow of funds. Then the next one is payment made to creditors. So, well friends, here again two aspects are going to be affected, cash and creditor. And here cash and creditor both are the current accounts, both belongs to the current items. So when you are making the payment, it means cash is going to be reduced, and creditors, your current liabilities, that is also going to be reduced, because when you are making the payments to the creditors, your balance of creditor will come down, the balance of cash will come down. So both belongs to the current account. Therefore, there will not be any change in working capital, and if there is no change in working capital, there is no flow of funds. Then the next one is, so before going ahead, I would like to make my learners very much acquainted that there are other transactions also where there is no change in working capital and ultimately it will lead to no flow of funds, like cash sales, like credit sales, like cash purchases, like credit purchases. Say for example, cash sales. So when you are making cash sales, so here two transactions are going to be affected. The first one is cash and the another one is stock. So cash and stock both belongs to the current account. Cash is coming up and your another current account, another current asset, that is stock is going to be reduced. So here one current asset is going up, that is cash, and another current asset is going down, that is stock. So it will not affect the working capital. So ultimately it will lead to no flow of funds. Then the next one is when both the items belongs to the non-current items. So here we have discussed few transactions which belongs to the current, both the items belong to the current account, like cash received from debtor or payment made to debtor or cash sale, cash purchases, credit purchases, credit sales. So let me see when both the item belongs to the non-current account, then what would be the implications on working capital and flow of funds. The first transaction is building purchased for rupees 1 lakh and the payment was made by issuing shares in the market. So well friends, so here two aspects are going to be affected. The first one is building and the second one is share capital. So here building is also a non-current item and share capital is also non-current item. It is non-current liabilities and the building is non-current assets. So when both the aspects are of same nature, it means both the aspects are of non-current items. So it will also not affect the working capital, and when working capital is not going to be affected, it means no flow of funds. Then the next one is debentures of rupees 1 lakh have been paid by issuing the shares. So, well friends, again in these transactions, debenture holders have been paid. So, debenture holders are again non-current liabilities, and the payment has not been made by making cash or bank. Rather, the payment has been made by issuing the share capital, issuing the shares. So, here share capital is also a non-current liabilities. So, when both the items belongs to the non-current items, so here again it will not affect the working capital. So, in toto, the circumstances where the working capital get affected only in two cases. When the first one is when in a transaction one item belongs to the current account and the another item belongs to the non-current account. Only then it will affect the working capital. Or when both the item belongs to the current account and when both the item belongs to the non-current account, in this situation it will not affect the working capital and there will not be any flow of fund. So, I submit my humble request to my learners that the thumb rule of getting the working capital affected is that in any transaction, one transaction must belong to the current item and the another must belong to the non-current item. Only under this situation it will affect the working capital, and when the working capital is being affected, it means it will lead to a flow of funds. Well friends, now we come to the second one is funds from operation. So well friends, as I have discussed with you in brief about the funds from operation, that there are many non-operating activities which are knowingly or unknowingly considered while preparing the income statement or profit and loss account of a particular business firm. So, these non-operating activities have to be adjusted while calculating the exact amount of funds generated by the operating activities of the business. So, let me discuss what non-operating activities which have been taken into considerations while preparing the income statements need to be added back and what need to be subtracted from the current year profit in order to generate the exact amount of funds from the operating activities of the business. So, well friends, the very simple process of measuring the amount from operating activities of the business is that generally we take the current year profit. So, in current year profit, the items which need to be added back and which need to be subtracted from the current year profits are, say for example, first we discuss about the non-operating activities which have been taken into considerations while preparing the income statements of a particular business enterprise. So, such non-operating activities have to be added back. Say for example, the first one is goodwill written off. So, well friends, you are all are well aware that goodwill is basically an intangible asset, and the intangible assets are those which cannot be seen, which cannot be touched. So, goodwill is an asset which extend the benefit for a business enterprise over a period of time or for a longer period. So the amount of goodwill which is written off while preparing the financial statements, while preparing the income statement or profit and loss account of that particular business enterprise, needs to be added back, because it is not an operating activities of the business. Then the second one is preliminary expenses. So well friends, you are well aware about the preliminary expenses, that these are the expenses which have been incurred by the company before starting the operation of the business. So these are of capital in nature. So these expenditures again extends the benefits over a period of time, that is for a longer period. Therefore, a part of such preliminary expenses which need to be written off, which need to be charged from profit and loss account, so again it needs to be added back, as it is not the operating activities of the business. Then the third one is patents, trademarks, copyrights written off. So well friends, as patent, trademarks, copyrights, these all are intangible assets, and these assets extends the benefits over a period of time. So whatever amount of these intangible assets are written off and have been debited while preparing the income statement must again be added back. Then deferred revenue expenditure. So again, this deferred revenue expenditure also extends the benefits over a period of time. So a particular amount which belongs to the current financial year and which have been debited while preparing the income statement of the business again need to be added back in order to calculate the exact amount of funds from operation. And then discount on issue of shares and debentures. So well friends, when we issue the shares or debentures at a discount, so again this is basically a loss for the firm, but this loss is not meant for a particular financial year. It is meant for a longer period. Therefore, any amount of discount on issue of shares and debenture that pertains to that particular financial year and which have been charged from profit and loss account or income statement while preparing the financial statement must again be added back. Then loss on sale of asset. So well friends, if during the year any fixed assets has been disposed of, and on account of disposing of that particular assets, if any loss arises which was debited to the profit and loss account while preparing the income statement must again be added back, as the loss on account of sale of asset is not the operating activities of the business, because the fixed assets are never meant for the resales. Rather, these assets are used in the business in order to operate the activities of the business. Rather, these assets facilitate a business enterprise in order to operate the main activities or the core activities of the business. Then transfer to general reserves, transfer to sinking funds, transfer to dividend equalization funds, debenture redemption funds और रिजर्व फॉर एनी कंटिंजेंसी। यहाँ मैं अपने लर्नर्स को एक चीज़ ज़रूर बताना चाहूँगा कि ये जो मैंने 4-5 आइटम्स अभी बोले हैं, ट्रांसफ़र टू जनरल रिजर्व्स, सिंकिंग फंड, डिविडेंड इक्वलाइजेशन फंड एंड डिवेंचर रिडम्पशन फंड और ट्रांसफ़र टू एनी रिजर्व फॉर एनी कंटिंजेंसी, these must only be added back to the current year profits only in a case where the profit of the profit and loss appropriation account has been taken into. If we have taken the profit of the current year of profit and loss account, उस केस में इनको ऐड बैक करने की गलती कभी नहीं करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ये जो 5 आइटम्स हैं, ट्रांसफ़र टू जनरल रिजर्व, सिंकिंग फंड, डिविडेंड इक्वलाइजेशन, रिजर्व फॉर एनी कंटिजेंसी और डिविडेंड पेबल और प्रपोज डिविडेंड, these are charged against profit and loss appropriation account, not against profit and loss account. So these items appropriate the profit of the business. These are not the charge against the profit. Therefore, the students must take a note of it that when the balance of profit and loss account of profit and loss appropriation, when the balance of profit and loss appropriation account is given, only under this situation this transfer to reserve, sinking fund, dividend equalization fund, debenture redemption fund and dividend payable or proposed dividend or reserve for any contingency must be added back. But if the net profit of profit and loss account has been taken into consideration, then these things should not be added back. Then the items which need to be subtracted from the current year profit of the business enterprises, like profit on sale of fixed assets. So in case if any profit has been arised on account of sales of assets, that need to be subtracted. Then receipt of dividend, if any amount of dividend has been received and has been credited to the profit and loss account, again it need to be subtracted. Then interest on investment. So if any investment has been made outside the business, so if any interest arises on account of that investment which has been shown in the credit side of profit and loss account, must again be subtracted while calculating the exact amount of funds from operating activities of the business. Then the next one is increase in value of fixed assets. So well friends, if on account of revaluation, if the value of the assets have increased, it must be subtracted, and if the value of the asset has been decreased, then it will be added back. Then the retransfer of excess provision. So well friends, if any excess provision has been made, so that excess provision again need to be credited to the income statement and therefore it must be subtracted back. Well friends, now we talk about funds flow statement. So well friends, as I have already told you that like other statements, there are two sides of funds flow statement, left hand side and right hand side. So left hand side is known as sources of fund and right hand side of funds flow statement is known as application of funds. So there are many sources of funds, say for example funds from operation. So whatever amount of funds from operation has been arrived on account of funds from operation, that need to be shown in the sources side of funds flow statement. Then issue of shares or debenture. So well friends, if we issue the shares or debentures and raise the funds from the market, so again it is inflow of fund, therefore it must also be shown in the sources of funds in the funds flow statement. Then raising long term loan. So if we are taking the loan from the banks or from the financial institutions, so again it is flow of funds, that is inflow of funds. तो कोई भी एक्टिविटीज़ जो आपकी बिजनेस की एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, अगर उससे आपको फंड्स इनफ्लो हो रहा है, तो जो भी फंड्स इनफ्लो हो रहा है वो सोर्सेज ऑफ फंड्स में आएगा. Like sale of assets. So if during the year any asset has been discarded and if on account of that if any funds arises, so that inflow of funds will also be recorded in the sources of funds flow statement. Then application side, that is right hand side of the funds flow statement. Application of funds means outflow of funds, like loss from operation. So while preparing the funds from operation, if any loss has taken place, will be recorded in the application side, and if any positive amount, that is has taken place, that will be recorded in the sources side of funds flow statement. Then buyback of shares. So if at any particular point of time the company has decided to take a decision regarding the buyback of shares, so if the company takes a decision of buying back of its own, then definitely the amount of funds which is going outside the business must also be recorded in the application side. Then redemption of preference shares and debentures, because the shares redemption of preference shares and debentures are issued for a particular period. So after the expiry of that or on the due date, preference shares or debentures have to be redeemed. So if on account of redemption of preference shares and debentures, again it will lead to outflow of fund, and this outflow of fund will also be shown in the application side of funds flow statement. Then repayment of long term loan. So if you had taken a long term loan, so now that due date has come, and if you need to make the payment of that long term loan, so again it will involve outflow of fund, and such outflow of fund must also be shown in the application side of funds flow statement. Then purchases of fixed assets. So well friends, if you are buying an asset, again it lead to outflow of fund. So this outflow of fund will also be shown in the application side of the funds flow statement. So this is how we prepare schedule of change in working capital, funds from operation, and funds flow statement. So well friends, now I'll discuss a typical example, and on the basis of that we will try to prepare the statement, that is schedule of change in working capital, funds from operation, and funds flow statements. So this example will make you very clear how the transactions are dealt with as far as the preparation of funds flow statement is concerned. So let we have a look. The balance sheet is given, balance sheet for 2 years, 2019, 2020, 2019, 2020. So here capital is given 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh. General reserves 50,000, 60,000. Profit and loss, balance of profit and loss account 30,500 and 30,600. Long terms loan 70,000 nil. Creditors 1.5 lakh or 1,35,200. Provision for taxation 30,000, 35,000. Total is 5 lakh 30,500 and 5,10,800. Here land and building 2 lakh, 1.9 lakh. Plant and machine 1.5 lakh and 1,69,000. Stock 1,74,000. Debtors 80,000, 64,200. Cash 500, 600. Bank nil 8,000. Goodwill nil 5,000. So total is 5,30,500 and 5,10,800. So this is the balance sheet for 2 years, that is for 2019 and 2020 is given, and few adjustments are also given. So let me see. So, well friends, I will make you acquaint about the adjustments, and we will also consider these 6 adjustments while preparing the financial statements, while preparing the schedule of change in working capital. So first one is schedule of change in working capital. So here, while preparing the schedule of change in working capital, you might have seen that our stock is, in 2019 it was 1 lakh and in 2020 it was 74,000. So our stock has gone up. Particulars और ये increase in working capital or decrease in working capital. So stock is our current assets. So in case if the current assets goes down, it will decrease the working capital. Stock decrease the working capital 26,000. Then the second one is debtors. Debtors is our current assets. So debtors 80,000 and 64,200. So agar debtors have also gone down, so current assets have gone down, so it will decrease the working capital by 15,800. Then cash has increased by rupees 100. So when the current assets increases, it will increase the working capital by 100 rupees. Then bank. So our bank balance was nil in the first year, and in the next year it was 8,000. So bank is again a current asset, and current assets are increased by rupees 8,000. So it will increase the working capital, 8,000 bank. And then creditors, if you see the liabilities side of the balance sheet, our current liability is only one, that is creditors. So creditors 1,50,000 and 1,35,200. So our current liabilities have come down. So in case if the current liabilities comes down, it will increase the working capital. So it has come down by 14,800 creditors. 14,800. So total is 22,900, and this total is 41,800. So here decrease in working capital is more than the increase in working capital. So here the balance will be decrease in working capital. Decrease in working capital. So if we deduct 22,900 out of this, so it will come 18,900. 18,900. So 41,800. So this is the first one, schedule of change in working capital. So in this statement we need to consider only current assets and current liabilities. Except current assets and current liabilities, the learner should not consider anything. Then the next one is next one is funds from operation. Funds from operation, current year profit. Current year profit. So if we see the liability side of the balance sheet, profit and loss account balance have been given 30,500 and 30,600. So our profit of the current year is 100 rupees only. 100. Then next you see that the first adjustment, it is given during the year ending 31st March 2020, dividend was paid rupees 23,000. So well friends, dividend is basically an expense for the business, and when it has been charged to profit and loss account, so it need to be added back to the profit. Dividend 23,000. dividend 23,000. It is given in the question. Then the second one is assets of another company were purchased for rupees 50,000 payable in shares. So ये जो 50,000 रुपये की हमने असेट्स परचेज की हैं, इनका पेमेंट हम शेयर्स इशू करके पेमेंट करेंगे. तो ये 50,000 रुपये की असेट्स कौन कौन सी हैं ये मैं आपको बता देता हूं. एक तो स्टॉक है, स्टॉक आपका 20,000 का है. देन मशीन जो है आपकी मशीन वो 25,000 की है. ये दो आइटम्स आपको दिए हुए हैं. So when you buy an assets and you make the payments by issuing the share capital, so the journal entries is stock account debit 20,000 because stock and machine both are the assets. And when we apply the rationale of the real account, because real account consists of all the assets, so when we apply the rationale, debit what comes in. So here the assets are coming in, therefore the stock and machines are debited. To share capital 50,000 रुपए. So well friends, we are making the payment of rupees 50,000 in terms of issuing the shares to the vendor, but here we have assets of rupees 45,000 only. So now the question arises, what about the remaining 5,000? It means the vendor has charged rupees 5,000 on account of goodwill. So this is the balancing figure, goodwill 5,000. This is balancing figure, BF. Then the third one is machine was further purchased for rupees 8,000. So here you can prepare the machine account. So in balance sheet, in the asset side of the balance sheet, the balances are given. Opening balance is 1.5 lakh. So to balance brought down 1,50,000 and closing balance is also given 1,69,000 by balance CD 1,69,000. So here in this transaction you see that machine has been debited by 25,000. So you debit the machine account by 25,000 to capital 25,000. And here you can also prepare goodwill account. So if you see the balance sheet, you will find that there is a closing balance of goodwill of rupees 5,000. So closing balance by balance CD 5,000. So here goodwill has been debited by 5,000. So you post this transaction in the goodwill account. So you debit the goodwill by 5,000. So here to share capital 5,000. So this account automatically get closed 5,000. Now you can also prepare the share capital account. Now we can prepare the share capital account. So capital is basically a liabilities for us, and if we see the liabilities side, the balance is 2 lakh and 2.5 lakh. So opening balance is 2 lakh by balance brought down 2 lakh and closing balance is 2 balance CD 2.5 lakh. And here share capital has been credited by 50,000. So you transfer this 50,000 in the credit side of share capital account by stock, machine, goodwill 50,000, total 2.5 lakh, total 2.5 lakh. So again this account is automatically get closed. Now in the question it is given third adjustment is machine was further purchased for rupees 8,000. So the journal entry would be machine account debit to cash. So here machine will be debited by 8,000 to cash 8,000. Then depreciation on machine written off rupees 12,000. So when we charge depreciation on the assets, so the journal entry is depreciation account debit to machine. So by depreciation 12,000 and then income tax provided during the year 33,000. So here you make taxation account. Make taxation account. Provision for taxation account. If you see the liability side of the balance sheet, opening and closing balance have been given. Opening balance is 30,000. So by balance brought down 30,000. Closing balance is given. To balance CD 35,000. 35,000. And in the adjustments it is given that income tax provision has been made rupees 33,000. So income tax being a nominal account, so we will charge it from profit and loss account. So what journal entry will make? Profit and loss account debit to provision for taxation. So by profit and loss account, how much? 33,000. Now total is 63,000 and here 35,000. So if there is a credit balance of taxation, it means during the year the balancing figure which we are arriving here is payment of tax, that during the year 28,000 cash payment has been made to cash 28,000. So here I would like to make my learners very much clear that here it is a credit balance. So credit balance shows that during the year whatever balancing figure comes during the year, that much of amount has been paid. And if there is a debit balance of taxation, it means the provision has been made and that provisions will be charged from profit and loss account. Then this also comes to an end. Then the next one is loss on sale of machine of rupees 200 was written off against general reserve. So we can prepare the general reserve account on also, general reserve account. So general reserves, opening and closing balance have been given. Opening balance 50,000 by balance brought down 50,000. Closing balance to balance CD 60,000. So the last adjustment is loss on sale of machine of rupees 200 was written off against general reserve. तो मशीन के बेचने से जो 200 रुपये का लॉस हुआ था वो हमने जनरल रिजर्व से चार्ज किया है, ना कि प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट से. सो जनरली वी चार्ज द लॉस बिकॉज लॉस बीइंग द नॉमिनल अकाउंट एंड द नॉमिनल अकाउंट्स आर ऑलवेज ट्रांसफर टू द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. But here it is given in the question that this loss has not been charged to profit and loss account, rather it has been charged from general reserve. So here instead of charging the profit and loss account, we will make the journal entry ₹200 general reserves account debit to profit and loss. How much it is? General reserves 200 to machine, loss on machine 200, it is 60,200, 60,200. So here the general reserve balance is 10,200 closing balance. General reserves has been provided 10,200. Here now all the transactions have been posted to their respective accounts. Now we will see the funds from operation. So well friends, while preparing the funds from operation, now you see again from the first adjustment, during the year rupees 23,000 dividend has been paid. So that dividend was charged from profit and loss account, that we have already charged because dividend is not the operating activities of the business, therefore it is again added back. Then the third one is assets of another company have been purchased. So here stock, machine, goodwill, 2 share, it is nothing to do with funds from operation. So machine was further purchased, it has nothing to do with funds from operation. Depreciation on machine, yes, so depreciation on machine will be added back. Depreciation 12,000, because depreciation is again a non-cash item. Then income tax provided 33,000. So here income tax provision for income tax 33,000. And then general reserves. So general reserves balance we have already calculated 10,200. General reserves. So balance was 10,200. And then all the adjustments have been considered. Now you make a total of it. So it is 78,300, I think. 78,300. Now the last one is funds flow statement. Funds flow statement. Application side. This is sources of funds. Sources of funds. So the first one is, first transaction adjustment is during the year dividend was paid rupees 23,000. So any outflow will be recorded in the application side and any inflow will be recorded in the sources side. So here dividend of rupees 23,000 has been paid. So dividend paid 23,000. और जो फंड्स फ्रॉम ऑपरेशन का जो हमारा बैलेंस आया है दैट इज ए पॉजिटिव बैलेंस, तो उसको भी आप सोर्सेज साइड में ट्रांसफ़र कर सकते हैं. और फंड्स फ्रॉम ऑपरेशन का जो बैलेंस आया है हमारा, फंड्स फ्रॉम ऑपरेशन का बैलेंस है वो 78,300. देन इन द एसेट साइड लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग इज गिवन 2 lakh and 1.9 lakh. So in the opening balance it was 2 lakh, but now at the end of the year it is 1.9 lakh. So well friends, इसके दो आस्पेक्ट हो सकते हैं. या तो आप इसको ये कंसीडर कर सकते हैं कि 2 लाख से 1.9 लाख होने के केवल दो ही रीजन हो सकते हैं. या तो आपने 10,000 की बिल्डिंग को आपने सेल कर दिया, या आपकी जो बिल्डिंग ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ 1 ईयर डेप्रिशिएट हो गई. तो हमने यहाँ पे बिल्डिंग को डेप्रिशिएट नहीं लिया है, हमने ये लिया है कि 10,000 रुपीज़ की बिल्डिंग जो है ड्यूरिंग द ईयर बेच दी गई, तो पैसा आया है उससे. तो यहाँ पे सोर्सेज साइड में हम लिख देंगे लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग 10,000. उसके बाद असेट्स ऑफ अनदर कंपनी वर परचेज, जो हमने जर्नल एंट्री बनाई थी कि 50,000 रुपये की जो एसेट्स परचेज की थी उसके अगेंस्ट हमने शेयर कैपिटल इशू किया था. तो उसमें हमारे पास स्टॉक 20,000 रुपीज़ का हमारे पास आया था. स्टॉक 20,000 रुपीज़. तो आप स्टॉक इधर दिखा सकते हैं सोर्सेज साइड में, स्टॉक 20,000, because stock is our current assets, and when the current assets increase it means sources of funds. Then stock मशीन अकाउंट हमने प्रिपेयर किया था, और मशीन अकाउंट के प्रिपेयर करने से हमारा जो बैलेंस आया था वो 1,800. बैलेंसिंग फिगर इट इज 1,800. machines purchased 1,800. मशीन के हमारे जो बैलेंसेस थे, ओपनिंग बैलेंस 1.5 लाख और क्लोजिंग बैलेंस 1.69, और फिर मशीन हमारी 25,000 से डेबिट हुआ था, और उसके बाद 8,000 रुपये से हमने मशीन को और परचेज किया था डेबिट साइड. उधर क्रेडिट साइड में डेप्रीशिएशन 12,000 रुपये, जनरल रिजर्व 200 रुपये, और क्रेडिट साइड में क्लोजिंग बैलेंस 1.69. सो जो बैलेंस आया है हमारा 18,800, इट मीन्स ड्यूरिंग द ईयर अगर हमारा मशीन का डेबिट बैलेंस है तो इट मीन्स मशीन अकाउंट हैज बीन 1800 रुपीज की हमने मशीन्स को डिस्पोज ऑफ कर दिया, जहां से हमारे को फंड्स आया है। जो बैलेंसिंग फिगर है 1800, मशीन 1800। देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज हमारा डिक्रीज इन वर्किंग कैपिटल। डिक्रीज इन वर्किंग कैपिटल, सो दिस डिक्रीज इन वर्किंग कैपिटल may be of two reasons, either the current assets reduces or the current liabilities increases. So current assets reduces, it means we are disposing of, and when we will dispose of, there will be a flow of funds. And if the current liabilities are increasing, it means we are buying the current liabilities, it means the cash is coming up, against it is the inflow of funds. तो आप ये डिक्रीज इन वर्किंग कैपिटल जो है 18,900 रुपये आप दिखा सकते हैं, डिक्रीज इन वर्किंग कैपिटल 18,900। देन आप दिखा सकते हैं क्रेडिट साइड, मशीन आपने 8,000 रुपये की और परचेज करी है, मशीन परचेज्ड 8,000. So here I would like to make my students very clear that these are the adjustments. और जैसा कि आप लोगों को मालूम होगा कि एडजस्टमेंट्स कम से कम 2 जगह उसके इम्प्लीकेशन जाएंगे, मिनिमम 2 जगह, टू साइड्स पे उसके इम्प्लीकेशंस जाएंगे। तो मशीन जो परचेज की थी 8,000, तो एंट्री वाज मशीन अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश, तो मशीन की डेबिट साइड पे भी हमने दिखाया था 8,000, और मशीन का जो बैलेंस निकल करके आया 1,800 वो हमने ऑलरेडी लिख दिया है। उसके बाद टैक्स का हमारा निकल के आया था 28,000, टैक्स पेड 28,000, हमारा टैक्स का अकाउंट ऑलरेडी क्लोज हो चुका है। देन इन द क्रेडिट साइड इफ यू सी लॉन्ग टर्म्स लोन, ओपनिंग बैलेंस 70,000, closing balance is nil. So what happened? It means the loan have been repaid by the company. So when we will make the payment, it will be outflow of funds. Loan paid 70,000. So here I think all the transactions have been taken care. Now we can make a total. So total is 1,29,000. So you make the total of it 78,300, 10,000, 18,900, and machine 1,800. So total is 1,29,000. So this funds flow statement, both the sides of funds flow statement matches. It means whatever efforts have been made in the right directions. So well friends, this was all about preparation of the funds flow statement. One of my very sincere request to my learner is that while preparing the funds flow statement, whatever adjustments are given in the questions, students need to make a different account of all those items which have been given in the adjustments, and then you see the nature of those accounts. Say for example, if we prepare asset account, so if there is a debit balance as in our case, so it means if there is a debit balance, we are we are disposing of the assets. So when we will dispose of the assets, any balance arises on account of that will be recorded in the sources side, and if there is any outflow, that would be recorded in the application side. So this was all about this today's discussion. So with this, I extend my sincere thanks for providing this great opportunity, and I am sure that with this discussion the students might have been benefited to a larger extent, and I hope that the students must also be in touch in the time to come also, because in the time to come we will also be here with different topics, and with that we will be in a position to discuss the confusion and the doubts of our learner, and ultimately it will extend them a larger help as far as the understandability of the financial statements is concerned, and as far as the preparation of the financial statement is concerned. Thank you very much.